Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be, and welcome to an extra interview of Final Cut. Today, I'm joined by an actress and a woman who has more talents than most. So, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Megan Serena Trainer.
Hello.
How are you today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Not too bad, thank you very much. How did you get started out in dancing and acting?
I actually started dancing when I was 4. My mom put me into dance class because I was extremely shy and I would not speak. And then she put me into dance class to make me a little bit more outgoing, and I think it's worked. So since then, I've been dancing, and then when I, midway through my dance career, I started training with acting, and yeah, so, I mean, it's really just been one long journey, but it started when I was 4 because my mom thought I was too shy, so she put me into the classes.
So speaking of acting, who were your influences growing up? Excuse me, got a bit tongue-tied there.
So I would say when I was super little, I was obsessed with Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen. So those were like my very first influences as a younger child. Obviously, as I grew up, Debbie Reynolds was a huge influence. And Vera Ellen. They are just the most talented, versatile talents. And they were just a couple women that I looked up to and inspired to be.
Oh, bless you. Now, I'm going to ask this. I think you probably know what this question is going to be. You have the same name as singer Megan Trainer. How often do you two get mixed up?
Honestly, it's slowly died down recently, but as frequent as you can imagine.
Yeah.
In like the most odd way, like going to a bank. They think you're the singer, and you're like, no, not so much.
Have you tried singing All That Bass?
I have. It sounds a little different than her version.
I bet everyone's like, yeah, you're still Megan Trainer, and you're like, no, I'm not.
No, I'm like, I mean, I think they hear that when I don't hit the same notes as her.
Right, so you've done movies. Among your resume is The Descendants trilogy, there's Christmas Chronicles 2, which I'll get to in a minute. You've done The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, which is on Netflix now, and Julie and the Phantoms. So that's what you've done TV-wise as well. So has it been enjoyable for you?
Oh, it's been incredible. Honestly, I've been very fortunate to have done those jobs amongst others, and it's honestly, it doesn't feel like work. They're all so much fun.
Now, as we've already established, you've trained as a dancer, so how fluent are you in dance?
I would say quite fluent. I trained at the ballet as a kid, which later segued into primarily commercial dance, but I can do anything from like tap, jazz, ballet, contemporary. So I would say decently fluent, for sure.
Could we see you on Dancing with the Stars, or as we say it over here, Strictly Come Dancing one day?
I wish. I was actually supposed to do an episode, but I was filming a film at the time, so I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
And now I'm actually up in Canada, so I don't know if I will get a chance to do that. But cross my fingers. Hopefully, that would be amazing.
It will. So you've been on Canada's Got Talent as well, so I bet that was a bit of a surreal experience, I'm guessing.
It was. Yeah, it was so much fun. And I got to work with actually the winners, and I actually helped choreograph their winning performance as well, which was awesome to be able to juggle more than one hat on the show. So it was so awesome. And
you can put that on your resume as well.
Pardon me?
You can put that on your resume as well.
Exactly.
Now, you've been a dancer, but you've also been a assistant choreographer on many forms of entertainment. One of the Kissing Booth movies has been one of them. So how hard is it to do a routine from having it visualised in your head to how you want it to be, to actually physically getting it on film?
It's a process and a formula, if you will. It requires so many different ingredients, from how you envision it, and then with reality, with filming, there's so many factors to take into consideration. So you can visualize it as a product that you want to see, and then there's so many things that come into account, like the actor's ability to dance can change your vision completely. The set can change your vision completely. The wardrobe can change, and all these things can have an impact on your vision. So you need to be flexible with understanding that, like, you could want this final product, but there are so many things that go into it that you kind of just have to be flexible and work around all the realities of film, and then hopefully get something that you had hoped for or along the lines of. So yeah, it's hard, but it's the most fulfilling work ever.
I'll say, speaking of which, you did a video short, I believe it was called Bad Dream, which starred a certain Jordan Elordi, or Geordie Elordi, so I don't know why I said Jordan. It's just a typical name over here. And you were a dancer, and Brittany Cherry was the assistant choreographer. For those listening and not sure who she is, if you've seen the video for Thinking Out Loud by Ed Sheeran, the woman he's dancing with, that is actually Brittany Cherry. So is it easy doing the choreography for a short or a movie?
I would say it's easier for the short. For the simple fact that you don't have to choreograph as much.
Yeah.
And then B, it's a space where you can be more concise, and there's not as many factors that go into the final product. So I would say a short most definitely is easier.
Do you want to know what I was expecting you to say? I was expecting you to say a movie, because usually they always say the shortest things require the biggest commitment. But now you've actually surprised me with that answer.
Yeah, that's my personal say. I'm sure someone would say otherwise, but.
So now you're in the Christmas Chronicles 2 with real-life golden couple Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn, along with Tyrese Gibson. What's the movie about, and who are you playing in it?
Yeah, so it's about Christmas being threatened to be canceled forever. So it's pretty high stakes. And in this role, I play an air flight attendant, a dancing air flight attendant, so a stewardess. It was a really fun role.
So have you actually seen Kurt and Goldie Hawn?
Oh, yes. Guy was able to, more so Kurt. We got to hang out on set, and we were dancing side by side, and it was a pretty pinch me moment, I will say.
Is he quite a nice chap?
Oh, he's so charismatic and so nice. And I can only say good things.
Fair enough.
About him. Yeah.
I've heard good things as well. I'm assuming since you were with Kurt and Goldie, you didn't really get to see Tyrese on set.
Yeah, just like down to earth and hardworking and super nice, and just good vibes all around.
Fair enough. Have we got a release date for it, or a rough release date?
Yeah. Well, for Netflix, it's November 25th, 2020. So in a few weeks.
Oh, that's not so bad. I mean, I've got not long. Excuse me, I'm getting tongue-tied again. Not long to wait then. So, all right then. Pitch this movie to the ladies and gentlemen. Why should they watch this over, say, something like Home Alone, let's say, for a Christmas movie?
I would say, I think this movie will take you on a journey. It's super adventure-packed, but it will also instill faith and hope, which I think will be very encouraging to participate in, especially through these strange times that we're all living in. Mm-hmm. So I think just the journey alone and having faith while you watch this movie will be very good for you to watch. It takes you on an adventure, and it's going to be some good fun. So it's like a little twist on Christmas.
I, for one, will be watching it on November 25th. If it is released on November 25th, just because Netflix America and UK sometimes have different stuff. I mean, Big Bang Theory is still available over here, and I think it's available on HBO Max over there. I think it's kind of the same with Friends. We've still got it over here on Netflix, but in America it's HBO. But more than likely, it should be the same date, all been well. But you know what Netflix are like.
I know, and even with actually in between Canada and the USA, there's a large difference between what movies are available and the release dates and the timing. Yeah. So, potentially on my end, November 25th. So hopefully the same for you guys.
We hope. Right, so what I do now is I ask the guests advice about certain things. I ask everyone it. It's nothing too hard. It's right. So first question is, what advice would you give someone who feels they are getting nowhere with their entertainment career and they're thinking about jacking it all in? What would your advice be to them if they came to you and said, "I'm thinking of quitting"?
To keep going, which is always easier said than done. Mm-hmm. But genuinely keep going, because being an artist and being in the entertainment industry, it's not one steady journey. It is full of ups and downs and twists and turns and super unpredictable, and there's nothing you don't know where you're going to go, and I think that's what keeps you going, because the unknown is very exciting, and that means that there's endless possibilities. So you just got to keep going and just trust yourself. Trust yourself in the sense that know that if you are passionate about it and you just keep working hard, your time will come. Your time will look different than your friends, but I think the hard work and just keeping on with it it'll be worth it in the end, because then you won't regret giving up.
Yeah. Always worth it in the end if the results come, which more than likely they will. Right, so obviously we are in a bit of a pandemic at the minute and cinemas are shutting all over the place. So do you think the future of say, film releases like, I'll say, because obviously today we've still got Wonder Woman to be released, we've still got the new Bond movie to be released, so do you see the future of cinema releases as going straight to Netflix, Amazon Prime, Apple TV and all that lot, and will cinema still be here?
That is such a valid question and a heavy question, because there's something so special about going to a theater and enjoying cinema in that way. However, I have a sneaky feeling, my own personal intake is that we will lean into the streaming releases, or like the Netflix and the Hulu and all these streaming services. I think we're going to lead with that, and then cinema might be second, unfortunately.
I think, me personally, I think cinemas will still be valid, but I think probably 10, 20 years, the future will be streaming services. Kills me to say it, but I think that's how things are going.
I know. It pains me, but however, we could look at it like, just like film cameras, they had their return. So they had a lull for maybe like 10, 20 years. And I think they're back on the rise. So hopefully if something like that does happen with cinema, that it comes back stronger and than ever in the future.
We can only hope. So
I know.
Let's go away from Megan Serena Trainer, the dancer and the actor. What does Megan Serena Trainer, the lady who I'm talking to right now, what is she passionate about? What are her interests?
Saving animals.
Really?
Yeah. Primarily, I mean, any animal, of course, but primarily, my life goal is actually to open a dog sanctuary.
Oh.
Yeah.
Not the biggest dog fan, but as long as they don't literally run up to me with teeth showing, then I'm literally fine with them.
That's super fair. But yeah, no, I'm very passionate about just helping animals, saving animals, advocating for fair treatment and cruelty-free world that we could live in. So that's 100% my passion as a human.
Is there anything else, or is it just a dog sanctuary?
Well, I mean, so saving animals would be the other than the artistic side would be my number one, and then I actually so I have a few film cameras, speaking of, and I absolutely adore black and white film photos. And so I love exploring and adventuring architecture, strangers on the streets, just catching the small moments, which I think are the most beautiful and important moments in life. So I really enjoy on the side just taking film photos and capturing these moments.
You sound exactly like my lady. That is literally the sort of thing she would say.
Yeah.
About photos, yeah. Yeah. So, what would you say are your career highlights at this point?
At this point, I would actually say, well, doing Christmas Chronicles 2 was a very... So, I'm now just transitioning primarily into acting, and I'm kind of allowing my dance to just take a seat. And it was a very cool moment being able to not only work with Kurt and Goldie, but the director, Chris Columbus, he directed two of my all-time favorite movies, or a couple of my all-time favorite movies, which was Home Alone and Harry Potter. So it was a really surreal / highlight of my career. And then also being able to work on multiple projects with Kenny Ortega and getting to know him on a personal level was a dream come true. So I would say those two would be on my top. And then I actually worked with an artist. Like a few years ago, I worked with Kelly Clarkson. And funny enough, as a kid, I idolized her. And it was just a cool moment to come full circle to work with her as well. So I would say those are my highlights.
I love Kelly Clarkson. I really do.
She's the nicest.
She is, but she's in a bit of trouble with me because she was supposed to be coming over to play a concert in the north of England a couple of years ago, but she cancelled. And I was really gutted because she is one of the very few singers that I have not seen live yet in the UK, and I was really looking forward to seeing her. And then she cancelled. I can't remember what the reason was. And it never got rescheduled, and I was kind of like so bummed. And now that she's got a talk show, I'm like, I'm never going to see her live, am I?
No.
I know, I'm absolutely gutted.
I guess you'll just have to come to LA and go to her talk show.
That is the plan for the future, depending on obviously when COVID decides to cease and we can travel to countries far and wide.
Yeah, but she's phenomenal. Her voice is out of this world.
It is. She actually looks... Is she actually as nice as she actually looks on TV? She is, isn't she?
She's so sweet. Honestly, she was one of the first... Not the first, pardon me, but out of the artists that I've danced for, she comes up to you and introduces herself. And she's so grounded and, I guess, as normal as one can be. She's very sweet. She's so nice.
Right. I know exactly what I'm doing after this interview's finished. Right, so what have you got any projects coming up in the next couple of months to a year?
So COVID kind of butchered and I'm sure it's the same there, but it's butchered the entertainment industry for sure in North America. So in terms of, we've just actually gone back to the process of auditioning again. So we're kind of like on this side of the things. The only things that are filming are things that were about to start in March. So those things were postponed. Those productions were postponed to now. Julie's just came out, and then with Kenny Ortega, I did this show called The Lake of Dreams at the Wynn Hotel in Vegas. So that just came out as well. But other than those, I'm just taking things one day at a time with COVID, because it's just up and down with auditions and productions stopping because, someone comes to set sick, and it's a whirlwind over here right now, so.
It's about to be that over here as well. Just moving on briefly, what would you like the future to hold for you? So I'll just give you a few instances, like good health, healthy bank balance, a great career, and hopefully when you do retire, you'll basically be idolised by many.
Yeah, I hope my future holds exactly what you said, health. I hope it holds the same amazing connections I have with my friends and family that I currently am blessed to have. And then I do hope to see my face on the big screen even more. And then I also hope that I can take my efforts and momentum in the entertainment world and kind of help turn that into broadening, doing good for animals, and just kind of meshing the worlds together and bringing awareness into the other sides of my passion. So I would love to be able to kind of mold them together in the future, and just bring and raise awareness for the welfare of animals. That is, is how I would hope to see my future.
Fair enough. Can't really argue with that, really. So if people like what they hear and they want to find you on social media, how would they go about it?
I technically have a Twitter. I'm locked out of it because I don't remember my password. So I'm mainly...
I've been through that. You're all right. I wouldn't worry about it.
Oh, and it's connected to an old email, which I also don't have the password for. So RIP to my Twitter account, but my Instagram is up and running it's just Megan Serena Trainer on Instagram. And that's the only platform that I engage with.
A lot of people do prefer Insta over Twitter and Facebook, so at least you've got the decent one for the time being.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, with all that said and done, it is time for the mini quiz. So, are you ready?
Okay, yes. So,
your dream movie, you can have 4 actors and actresses. It doesn't matter if it's like 3 men and a woman, say 3 women and a man. It doesn't matter how it comes, as long as you have 4. Your producer and your director. I can happily give you a few ideas if you're struggling.
I think, I definitely have the director and actors and actresses that I would love to work with.
Okay.
Is it 4 total for the actors and actresses?
It's just basically like if you're doing the Oscars, you'd have Best Actor, Best Actress, Best Supporting Actor, and Best Supporting Actress. It's just along that line.
Okay. So we'll start with the director, Wes Anderson.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I'm glad you didn't say Paul Thomas Anderson. I'd just be like, oh my god, please do not have a cheesy sci-fi movie.
No. So Wes Anderson, actors. Oh, I would say Julia Roberts.
That's a name I've not heard in a while.
Forever and always, she's iconic. And her 90s, her work in the 90s, like her early work is, I don't know, she's just so great.
She's Julia Roberts.
Pardon me?
She's just Julia Roberts. That's all it is.
Well, that's it. You don't have to really elaborate. It's Julia Roberts. Mic drop. She's iconic. And then I would say Meryl Streep. And I know those two are pretty cliche answers, but I would dream to work with those two actresses.
So do you want me to tell you something funny? I had one last night, and one of her actresses was Meryl Streep. It's just Meryl Streep. That's all it is.
Just Meryl Streep. I know. It's another one where you're like, but they also are as reputable and known because they are just that fantastic. And then males, I would love to work with Armie Hammer.
Armie Hammer?
Yeah, and I might say his name wrong, but Taron Egerton?
Near enough.
Near enough. Can
It's
you say
near
it?
enough, yeah.
How would you say it?
I think it's pronounced Taron Egerton, I think. I know there is a lot of Joels out there whose names sound the same, but it is actually, I think it's Taron Egerton, I think it is. I might be wrong, but everyone has a different way of pronouncing it. It took me until I was 15 to pronounce Arnold Schwarzenegger correctly, so I wouldn't worry too much about it.
I mean, fair. Very fair.
Right, would you like to know what mine is? Oh yeah, to Armie Hammer. Yeah, do you want to know what mine is?
What?
What my director, producer, actors and actresses would be? Now, the actors and actresses, I do vary because I do like a lot of them, but the director and producer is always the same. It's Christopher Nolan directing and his wife, Emma Thomas, producing.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
that's a good one.
Now, actors and actresses, it is a bit hard because there is a lot of actors and actresses I like. I'm going to say Scarlett Johansson for one actress, and for the other, I will say Joey King.
She's great, and she's so young. Oh, I actually want to watch that one series that she's in.
Is it Welcome to the Bloom House?
No, it's where she's... I don't know if she's like split personality, but I'm going to IMDb it as we speak.
I'm going to say because the live that she's in has just been out on Netflix. It's not Netflix, Amazon. It's only been out for a couple of weeks. It's where she plays the daughter of a divorced couple. She she takes a friend out to a lake, and her friend disappears, and then basically her mum and dad spend the next however long it is trying to cover up the fact that they think she's killed someone, but in the end she hasn't. And I'm not going to venture too much in spoiler territory, but it is absolutely brilliant to watch. I didn't know if that's the one you meant or not.
I actually, looking at her IMDb, it's The Act. Have you seen that?
Oh yes. I this might surprise you, but I haven't. But I know how good she is in it.
I mean, the trailer just grabs my attention immediately, so that's on my to watch list, 100%.
So my two actors. Well, there is a lot. I really mean that. There is a lot. I suppose I could say, because I have a poster of Sucker Punch on my office door, so I suppose I'll say Oscar Isaac.
Okay.
And maybe the next one, I'll have to say this because my fiance is a huge fan of his, so if I say it once now, then I can get it out of the way. I can think about somebody else. So I'm going to say Scott Eastwood.
Okay.
I have to. She's a big fan. So
is she?
Yeah, she is, yeah.
Yeah, it's honestly, like, it's such a hard question to answer because, I mean, that answer changes all the time. Every time you see a new film or TV show, you get introduced to more talent, and it's so hard.
All right, next question. So out of all the TV and movies you've been in, what would you have liked to have had a bigger role in?
That's a good question. I think I would have actually liked a bigger role in Christmas Chronicles, because it just looked like so much fun. And then I would say, I would have actually liked a bigger role in Julie and the Phantoms, and I actually was auditioning for a role that the role ended up, the producers cut it. But I was hoping to get a bigger role in that. But who knows, if a season 2 comes out, cross my fingers.
Might get your luck, might get your chance. There's always something new coming out every day. Just don't do anything Netflix, because they tend to cancel them after one series, maybe 2.
Yeah.
I'd recommend Amazon Prime.
Pardon me?
I'd recommend anything done by Amazon Prime, because they do a lot of longevity in their TV series.
Yeah, no, actually, that's super valid. I didn't really think about that, but they definitely do, comparative to Netflix.
Yeah. We did sort of say something about this earlier, but I'll just ask a question anyway. Was there any TV or movies that you would have loved to have done but couldn't for whatever reason? I'll just give you an example. You might not know this, but Hugh Jackman actually wasn't the first choice to play Wolverine.
I think I actually researched that, actually.
Yeah.
Because I was so fascinated by the last one.
Yeah. Dougray Scott was meant to play him, but because he was filming he'd done Mission Impossible 2 and he had to go back for reshoots, they ultimately handed it to Hugh Jackman, and his life has been a misery ever since. Ryan Reynolds has been begging him to come in one more Marvel movie so he can annoy him as Deadpool.
I know, it's like, I mean, okay, first of all, the relationship between Deadpool and Wolverine, or AK Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman, it's hilarious.
It is.
I would say it's actually happened a few times. One was with Dancing with the Stars. I was actually filming a Disney movie called Zombies, and then fast forward a year or two later, I actually wasn't able to then do Zombies 2 because I was doing Sabrina and working with Kenny in the States. So it happens a lot. When it rains, it pours. And then it's dry as a desert, I guess. So, and this is the ebb and flow I was speaking of earlier. But I would say, I couldn't do Disney Zombies 2, and I couldn't do Dancing with the Stars, both which I would have loved to have been a part of.
Well, here's hoping you get all the roles you want and have nothing stopping you from doing it in the future.
I know.
Right. This next question you could class as a bit hard, but I have given it a large number just so it's a bit easier. So name me 10 or 20 actors or actresses that you haven't been in a movie or TV series with yet that you would like to star with before you retire.
Okay. Brad Pitt.
Yep.
First and foremost.
That's one.
Let's just get that one out of the way. Brad Pitt, Julianne Moore,
2,
Kate Blanchett,
3,
Amy Adams,
4,
Elizabeth Olsen,
5,
Timothy, how do you say it? Chalamet or whatever his last
Timothy
name is?
Chalamet. Yeah, I didn't know if you meant. Yeah, I didn't know if you meant that one or Timothy Oliphant, who was in Deadwood.
Definitely Timothy
Chalamet.
Yeah,
so that's 6.
Henry Cavill.
Who doesn't like a bit of Henry Cavill in the life? I don't know.
I met him once when I was in London, and I really actually like to work with him.
Well, they're filming The Richest season 2 and possibly even 3, so you know where to go.
This is true. Oh my gosh, this is such a hard question. I would like to work with Channing Tatum. I would like to work with, I'm blanking. Hold on, let me think.
You have mentioned Julia Roberts earlier.
I mentioned, so it's her earlier. I would like to work with...
Joey King?
I would actually like to work with, Joey King would be really cool to work with.
So that's your 10. Do you want to try and make it 20, or are you struggling a bit?
I think we could do 10. Like, I would be happy if I worked with those 10 people. I would be, and if I could do it, so my ultimate is Wes Anderson.
Yeah.
So even though he's directing, I'll throw him in there. I'm going to manifest that. It's like Brad Pitt and then Wes Anderson.
Shall I tell you my 20?
Yes, please.
Right, so VML cousins, so Stephen and Robbie.
Mm-hmm.
Katie Cassidy.
Mm-hmm.
Melissa Benoist, I think that's how you pronounce her name, I think.
Yeah.
Kit Harington.
So good.
Amelia Clark. She's just so lovely. Why would you not want to star in a movie with her? Henry Golding, Scarlett Johansson, Jeremy Renner, Mark Ruffalo, Robert Downey Jr.,
yes.
Chris Hemsworth, Chris Pratt, Chris Evans. Yes, I'm literally going through the entire Avengers cast. Gal Gadot, or Godot, however you pronounce it. I think everyone pronounces it differently. Who else is there? Oh yes, Anne Hathaway. Maybe Angelica Houston.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All I can say is I was traumatised by The Witches as a young boy, and she just had me from there on then. I would say John Hurt, but he's not here anymore, is he? Bless him.
I
know. Daniel Craig, sorry. Daniel
my goodness,
Daniel
yes.
Craig. Joey King.
Mm-hmm.
And lastly, I have saved this one last particularly because I really would like to do something with this gentleman. Mr. Keanu Reeves.
He's Canadian, yes. Yes, I actually would piggyback some of those names and add them to my list. And now that you've gotten the wheels turning, I would actually add to mine Nicole Kidman.
Oh, that's 11.
Yeah, she's phenomenal. And then Laura Dern. I've actually done a movie with Laura Dern, but I didn't get to work. My scenes weren't with her specifically, so I would like to actually work scenes with her. Mm-hmm. Matthew McConaughey.
13.
Yeah. I think Jake Gyllenhaal.
Mm-hmm.
Was great. Orlando Bloom.
Yes, Mr. married Katy Perry and has recently become a dad for the second time, and congratulations to him.
Yeah.
But more so Katie, because she's the one who had to carry the baby for 9 months and give birth to it, so... But more so Katie, but obviously congratulations to Orlando.
Exactly, congratulations. Johnny Depp would be fun. I just think all these actors and actresses are so brilliant that you would almost just get lost in the creation process and just playing these roles with these people would be so incredibly fun and intimidating, very intimidating.
Yeah. Do you want to keep it at 16, or can you find 4 more? If you want to say Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn, I'd say fair enough.
I would actually say, I would like to work with Kurt and Goldie again.
Right, we'll add them too, so you've only got 2 more.
So 2 more, I would do... Reese Witherspoon would be fun. I'm
big fan of hers.
Yeah, and I actually follow her book club, but I'm quite a fan of just seeing her growth as an actor. Ooh, and then Will Ferrell, that would be fun.
Not the biggest fan of Will Ferrell. It's just personal taste, really. I don't think he's quite. I know a lot of people. Yeah,
specific.
He is, yeah.
Sure. But I think he would be fun to do a comedy with.
He probably would be, yeah. I could probably name another 20, but I'm not going to because I could probably bore you. I probably would bore you actually. So with 40 actors and actresses named between us, ladies and gentlemen, I give you Megan Serena Trainer, not Megan Trainer, the singer, Megan Serena Trainer, the actress.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.